is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
The Fall Classic starts tonight on Fox. World Series Game 1. We got Hall of Famer John Smoltz joining us to preview all angles of Braves-Astros leading up to first pitch. That'll be a fun conversation. The Buffalo Bills back in action this week after the bye. Guess what their odds are right now of winning the Super Bowl? Pro Bowl receiver Emmanuel Sanders joins us at 8:30 to tell us what's working with his team up in Buffalo. And can the 3-4 Kansas City Chiefs still get this season turned around? Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf alongside Nick Wright, who's had a couple hours to ponder things. Chris Broussard, Kevin Wildes. All right, Nick, it has been about 24 hours since that. I'm going to call it a Chiefs debacle. We good now? We babied you yesterday. Are we good now?
He was bitter yesterday. I mean, I'm not friends with Kevin Wildes anymore because he was so rude and aggressive yesterday. But aside from that, we're good.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Aside from that, we're good. I mean, Wildes was really out of line.
Just to recap, we're good, not great. We'll get to all things football and baseball. We got to start with some basketball out in L.A. this morning. We are a week into the NBA season already and still not sure what to make of this new-look Lakers team. Here's a team that lost 2 of 3 out of the gate. Russell Westbrook still figuring out where he fits in. There's been some mid-game squabbling among teammates, if you will. It's not great. Not what we expected, and certainly not what Sports Illustrated expected either. They ranked the Lakers all the way down at 20th in their first NBA power rankings. Nick, I know you're already dealing with the Chiefs. I'm not one to add to your stressful week, but what is going on here? Are people overreacting or underreacting to the Lakers' slow start?
Well, I mean, this is, and I understand the tiers, the committee's tiers is an NFL franchise, but we might need to expand it to the NBA because this is one of the issues with power rankings. They're reactionary and you look foolish just weeks or days even after you release them. Nobody thinks the Lakers are the 20th best team in basketball. So if that is where the general consensus is, then that would be an overreaction. But I do think the Lakers right now have one obvious structural flaw, and then they have the Russell Westbrook concern. I want to start with the structural flaw, Broussard. I'll get to Russ later. They told us when they acquired Russ that Anthony Davis was going to play center. And a lot of my optimism, I think, Broussard, a lot of your optimism for the Lakers had to do with the fact you're going to have LeBron, AD, Russ, and then 2 perimeter guys on the court. But then they went and got DeAndre Jordan for no reason. I'm fine with Dwight being a rotation backup big, but they're starting these games with an offense that is going to be stuck in the mud at all times. Everything's going to be clogged. Why is LeBron not getting to the rim? Because the whole defense is at the rim, because you don't guard Russ. AD is a good three-point shooter for a 7-footer, but not a good three-point shooter for the league. And you have a center out there. So to me, and by the way, why would you play that way? Going to be great at defense? Well, they haven't been. Going to be a dominating rebounding team? They've actually been a terrible rebounding team. But the reason it doesn't concern me all that much is the fix is sitting right there. LeBron and AD are your front court. Russ is one of your backcourt mates. And then you put, whether it's Malik Monk, Carmelo Anthony, Wayne Ellington when he gets back, any of the wings that you have, you surround them with the shooting that you do have. That has to happen. And this odd, marriage to whether it be DeAndre Jordan or Dwight Howard is simply not going to work. And I feel like everyone knows it. So I don't know why they're starting the season with it. That, to me, is the obvious fix and one that I would think the Lakers would want to go to sooner than later, Broussard.
Yeah, I'm going to co-sign most of what you said, Nick. And let me start with the tiers. I know I usually dismantle your tiers, and justifiably so. However, this does show the foolishness of power rankings, especially this early in the season in the NBA, where you play 82 games. It's lunacy. Like, they're going to look foolish in a few weeks for having Charlotte number 4, ahead of Milwaukee. All right? Yeah. Chicago number 6, as nice as they look early. I mean, come on. I don't think anybody, even at Sports Illustrated, thinks the Lakers are the 20th best team in the NBA and apparently not going to make the playoffs. So there's that. But to what you said, you're right. They need to start playing Anthony Davis at center, and I think they will. I mean, this can't go on because you are getting absolutely no benefit from playing big. Like you said, the rebounding's been poor, and the defense has been horrendous. If there's one major surprise right now with the Lakers, you can't be surprised about Westbrook, right? About it being a struggle, about this being a tough adjustment. We all knew that. All right, Russell Westbrook is the most volatile player in the league, up and down, and you're seeing all of it. He's got the Lakers up with his pace. They're second in the league in pace, Nick. Offense hasn't been the problem to a large degree because Melo and LeBron have been so hot from three. The Lakers are actually the leading three-point shooting team in the league. We know that won't continue at 43%, but LeBron's 48%, Melo's 60%. Once they come back to normal, that's when you'll see more of the Lakers' problems. But Westbrook's adjustment has been very tough. He's shooting 9%. That's not, I didn't misspeak. 9% from three. He's got a PER of 6.6. Okay? And look, against Memphis, you saw the good. He dropped some dimes. He's passing it better than I even thought he could early in that Memphis game. But then he had 13 assists, but at the same time, he has 9 turnovers. So that's not a surprise. But whilst the defense has been most surprising, they don't look like they can keep up with younger, faster opponents. And that's going to be a major challenge for them, especially if they insist on starting DeAndre Jordan or playing Dwight Howard a lot. Those are the two centers. Go with AD at the center and get some guys that can guard the perimeter better out there, and that'll fix a lot of their problems.
Well, look, I think if they play good defense, they're about to rattle off 4 wins in a row. They've got Spurs, Thunder, Cavs, Rockets here. Those teams are combined 4-9. If they play good defense and they sort of let Melo play a little bit less, and Nick, I know we love Melo. We both are, love to see Melo hitting jumpers. The reason that Melo was out of the league is not because he couldn't hit jumpers. He can still hit shots. It's because he couldn't play defense. But you were the big guy on this last year. You were like, Lakers defense wins championship. I know it's a small sample size, but can we show the numbers of the Lakers defensive rating? Specifically, their second chance points. Memphis was all over the boards getting a bunch of second chance points. I don't think AD is going to move to center. It's one thing that's consistent about him. He said he doesn't like playing center, the idea that all of a sudden he's going to want to play center. So do you think this is a major concern or just too small of a sample size, Nick?
Well, listen, I think the defense is going to struggle considerably the first couple months of the year because it's such a new roster being remade around the strengths and weaknesses of Russ. And so I think the defense can be excellent by the end of the year. So I'm going to be more interested in what the defensive rating is kind of by month. The second chance points allowed thing speaks to my point about rebounding. They have been an awful rebounding team, and they're playing huge. Like, that can't happen. Yeah. Even when they won the title and they had, like, JaVale McGee, why is he out there? Well, he can catch lobs, and he's going to help you on the boards. Like, you can't be giving up spacing and shooting for size and be a bad rebounding team. But I want to talk about Russ for a second here, Broussard, because I don't think you're right about the pace, and he's not going to shoot 9% from 3 all year. But I think we have to recognize that Russ is going to take a while, but once he gets going, he can be excellent. Look at what he did in Houston and Washington. Again, new teams, first 3 months, rest of season. Houston.